Hello folks, welcome to the Lease Deals of the month for May 2024. We've got some massive, big German beasts in this one, petrol cars as well. And then we've also got some amazing electric car deals. This is a bumper episode. There are so many great deals at the moment that this will probably be a longer episode than normal. Please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. I've just ticked over to 40,000 subscribers. I'm desperate to get 50,000 this year, so please be one of them. And as always, there are links to Lease Loco in the video description, so you can go and play around with any of this, and also a link to ALA Insurance, who are today's sponsor. So let's start things off with the petrol, diesel and hybrid stuff. As always, 3 months up front, 3-year deals, 10,000 miles a year, unless otherwise stated. There is a deal in here for Vauxhall Astra, which they're only advertising at 6 months up front, but I think everything else fits the normal pattern in this one. Let's start things off with this one, a little Peugeot 208, 1.2 PureTech 100 active, £210 a month and 910 up front, 10.1 seconds to 62, 50 mpg, 101 brake horsepower and 352 litres of boot space, insurance group 21. Average price on that one's been £329 a month. At its peak, it was 392, currently 210. Good looking little car. Nice thing to drive. Couldn't go far wrong with that. Again, a Peugeot 2008 1.2 PureTech active. 242 a month with a grand up front. Price history on this one, £358 has been the average. 395 has been its highest point. It did drop down to 207 a few weeks ago, but not for very long. It went straight back up to 247. Currently 242. As you can see, for the majority of the last sort of 12 months, it's been around about 380, 370 quid a month. Currently 242. 0-62 of 10.8 on that one, 48.7 mpg, insurance group 12, which is great for a car of its size. It's not a small car. Insurance group 12 is really decent, and 434 litres of boot space. 242 a month and a grand up front. Next, we've got the Seat Leon. This is the 1 litre TSI Evo SE, 244 quid a month and a grand up front, 10.9 seconds to 62, 51.4 mpg, insurance group 11, 110 brake horsepower and 380 litres of boot space. Obviously, it's a Golf with a different lid on it. Let's have a look at the price history. 296 a month on average. At its peak, 345. And this is the lowest point we've seen at £244.70. We've got long spells here where it's well over 300 quid a month. Great little car, the Leon. Bit of an unsung hero. Great deal on that right now. And it's in stock. Next, we've got the Vauxhall Astra 1.2 Turbo 130 GS Automatic. 260 quid a month and 1800 up front. This is the one where I said they're only showing it with 6 months up front. For some reason, there's no price for 1 month or 3 months. If you wanted to do one of those options, just make your inquiry. Use my link to Lease Loco, obviously. Go on compare deals. It's now going to go through and compare all those deals for you. And then click on get a quote. Then you continue through there. But all you do is ask for a 3 month upfront price or a 1 month upfront price. I would be amazed if that's the only option on it. I dare say the brokers just haven't input a lower deposit option, so keep that in mind. 9.7 seconds to 62, 50 mpg, insurance group 19, 422 litres of boot space. So that's 1864 and 260 up front. 419 a month has been the average on the car, and at its peak it was 490 quid. This is the cheapest we've ever seen one at 260 a month. Say Arona is next, 1 litre TSI 110 FR. Insurance group 12, 400 litres of boot space, 10.6 seconds to 62, 53.3 mpg, 265 quid a month and just under £800 up front. Look at the price history on that. It's pretty average, but it's not too bad at all. At its peak, it was 328 a month, the average 287, currently 265. At one point, it was 9 quid a month less than it currently is. So again, that looks like a bit of value, and again, it's in stock. The Golf is next, the good old Golf, and this one's got a really nice trim level. It's a black edition. It's the 1.5 TSI 150 black edition to be exact. 8.5 seconds to 62, 47 mpg, insurance group 22, 381 litres of boot space, 150 horsepower. Average price on it's been 403 quid a month, £461 was its highest price, and at £317.42 a month, that's the lowest price we've seen one. That's a great deal on a true sort of modern classic, you know. It's a Golf. Next, we've got the Toyota CHR 1.8 hybrid design. Now, don't let this horrible paint scheme put you off. You only get that on the top spec model, which is the Premier Edition, I believe. I think the design comes with the normal two-tone, which is one colour here and a black roof. If you've seen the review video I did on one recently, I think I had the XL, but it's the same paint scheme as the design from memory. So you're going to get something that looks far, far nicer than this, which I think is a little bit odd. 10.2 seconds to 62, 58.9 mpg, insurance group 20, 447 litres of boot space, 337 a month and £1,000 up front. This car's somewhere in the region of 35 grand, I believe, to buy. So not too bad at this kind of money. Now, this is just the average price. It's what they are. I just think it's a good car for the money, a very good car for the money. As you know, if you've seen that review, I pretty much loved it. And the real world MPG is absolutely fantastic. I don't think I got below 54 MPG at any point in that car, despite trying my hardest to do so. Here's another car I like, the Nissan X-Trail 1.5 e-Power e-Force 213 N-Connector Auto. 366 a month and 1400 up front. This one is the hybrid. 7 seconds to 62, 44.8 mpg, insurance group 29, 575 litres of boot space and 213 horsepower. 482 a month has been the average on this. At its peak, 517. Currently 366 with 1400 up front. That's a really nice car. Really nice, actually. We did quite a long journey in that when I had one in for review. Again, go and check that video out if you're interested. But felt like a big improvement over the outgoing model. Alfa Romeo Tonale 1.5 mild hybrid sprint automatic, £376 a month with 1430 up front. 8.8 seconds to 62, 160 horsepower, 48.7 mpg, 500 litres of boot space and insurance group 28. And price history wise, wow. 558 has been the average on this, 558 quid a month, and it's currently 376. This is in stock, and when you see a low price like this on a stock vehicle, they tend to go quickly. So just keep that in mind. If by the time you come to look at this, it's already gone, I don't think it's going to hang about. Peugeot 3008 is next. It's the plug-in hybrid, 225 brake horsepower, insurance group 30, 395 litres of boot space. 8.9 seconds to 62 and 177 mpg, which is daft. Price history, £405 a month at the moment and £1,464 up front. The average on it's been £480 a month. At its peak, look at this, it was 813 quid a month. The lowest price we've ever seen on it, amazingly, was 322, but that was for about a week or 2 weeks, look, back in earlier in March. But this one's in stock. It's 405 quid a month against an average of 480. Not a bad car for that kind of money. Now, this is a weird one. It's the Lexus NX450H Plus, but there aren't any stats in it. I think something's gone wrong with the website here, so I can't give you the price history and stuff. It has been in previous videos. 559 quid a month with 1,678 up front. It is a plug-in hybrid. They're not cheap cars. You know, it's a very expensive car to buy. 309 horsepower, 525 litres of boot space. It's a brilliant thing. It's just a great, great car. 559 quid a month gets you in one of those. Now we're going to get to the lively stuff. We've got several BMWs here, and they're all at the top end of BMW. Now, some of them are prices that are similar to my mortgage, but for a lot of people, that's pocket change. And the performance in some of these cars is unbelievable. So here we go. M2 Coupe, I mean, just what a bit of kit that is. 4.3 seconds to 62, 29 mpg, insurance group 42, and 390 litres of boot space. Average on this has been over £1,000. £1,044 a month has been the average price. At its peak, it was £1,172. Currently, £655 with £1,965 up front. That's a serious piece of kit, and if you're a driving enthusiast and you get one of those, I can guarantee that you won't wipe the smile off your face for a long time. It's a serious piece of engineering, that. BMW 8 Series Grand Coupe 840i M Sport Automatic. We have seen these a bit cheaper in the past, but I think it's still a great deal for this kind of car, especially when you consider its price. 5.4 seconds to 62, insurance group 44, 333 horsepower and 440 litres of boot space. The average on it's been 824. Before these dropped, which was about a year ago, the average was something like, I don't know, something daft like 1,500 quid or 1,400 quid. It was a lot of money anyway. Highest price on it in the last 12 months has been 1,142. Lowest price has been 740. Average 824. Currently 777 with 2,300 up front. And if you want that in the standard coupe version, that's also available. It's more expensive though, 854 quid for 2 fewer doors. 420 litres of boot space, 5.2 to 62 and 33 mpg. That one is a higher price, and as you can see, the average on it's been higher as well. The average is 986, and its highest point it was 1280. Now, BMW X7, you don't see too many of these around. It's the size of a small village in Cornwall, with a wheel in each corner. As the X-Drive 40D mild hybrid M Sport diesel, 881 quid a month with 2,943 up front, 5.9 seconds to 62, insurance group 50, 750 litres of boot space, and that compares to an average of 1,346 a month. That's right, 1,346 a month is the average. This is the lowest price we've ever seen one. At its highest point, it was 1,528. It's now 881. These are massive numbers we're talking about, but if you're in the market for one of these kind of vehicles, if you've got that kind of budget to spend on a car, you're saving a considerable amount over the sort of running average on that. So it is a fantastic deal. XM50E automatic. This is a petrol plug-in hybrid. We don't have a 0 to 62 on this one for some reason. 527 litres of boot space, insurance group 50, unsurprisingly. 476 brake horsepower and £949 a month with £3,000 up front. The average on that's been £1,402 a month. At its peak, £1,984 a month. So it's £1,000 less a month than it was at its peak. Just get your head around that. It's insane. Unfortunately, it's still nearly £1,000 a month. That one is a factory order. Certainly quite a unique looking thing. It's very boxy, very angular, very aggressive looking. I don't think I've actually seen one in the flesh. So there we go. If you lease one of these, let me have a spin in it, won't you? BMW X4M X-Drive X4M Competition Steptronic Auto. There you go, that's a mouthful. It's the X4M Competition. This, if you see the M series from BMW, that's the crazy performance. Stick competition on the end, and it gets a little bit crazier. 3.8 seconds to 62 in an SUV. 26.4 mpg, insurance group 45, 510 litres of boot space, 525 litres of boot space actually, 510 brake horsepower, 970 quid a month with 3,200 up front. Average on that one's been £1,218 a month. At its peak, 1,584, and this again is the lowest price we've seen one. So if you're in the market for that very top end BMW, there's plenty to go around at the moment. The sponsors of today's video are ALA Insurance. ALA are specialists in motor ancillaries, things like car warranty, things like scratch and dent insurance, things like alloy wheel and tyre cover, all kinds of things that can protect your asset and protect you financially. So please go and jump onto ALA and get a quote for any kind of products that they offer that you might be interested in. Obviously, some of them particularly pertinent if you're leasing a car. Use the code JIM10 and you get 10% off. It's as simple as that. I'll just show you how to do that now. So just look here at this key cover. It's 48 quid. I'm going to put in the code JIM10 and it immediately knocks £4.80 off. It's as simple as that. There's nothing more to it, folks. ALA have got a fantastic reputation in the industry, and I'm absolutely delighted to have them on board as a sponsor. So please show your support. There's a link in the video description, and that code JIM10 is all you need to get 10% off pretty much every product across the site, I believe. So go and check it out. On to the electric stuff, and we've got the Aura Zero 3, 126 kilowatt Pure Plus, 193 miles of range, 228 litres boot space, insurance group 27, 171 brake horsepower. There were a few issues with insurance on these. I think they might have been resolved now. My advice would be to get an insurance quote before you lease a vehicle. In fact, that would be my advice across any kind of vehicle you're looking at leasing, whether it be petrol, electric, diesel. Always get a price on the insurance first, because insurance has gone mental of late. $959 up front and $220 a month. Obviously, we've seen crazy deals on this car in the last 12 months. The highest price we've seen it in 2024 was £314 a month. The lowest, £214 a month. Don't forget, before this date, it used to be called the Funky Cat. It's now the Aura Zero 3. 246 quid a month has been the average. Currently 220 with under £1,000 up front, and it's in stock. They're great little cars. Again, I've done a review of one of those. You can go and check out. Very quirky. Feel like they're really robustly put together. And they surprise a lot of people, I think. Mokka E, 100 kilowatt GS, 50 kilowatt hour automatic, £304 a month and £1,214 up front, 209 miles of range, 136 horsepower, insurance group 21 and 310 litres of boot space. If you look at the price history on this one, it tells a very happy story for you if you're interested in one. 556 has been the average. At its peak, 772, and at £304.91, that's the lowest price we've seen one in the last 12 months. So now might be a very good time to get a Mokka E if you're in the market for a Mokka E. Good looking little thing, 300 quid a month with 1200 up front. Cupra Born is next, 385 litres of boot space, insurance group 25, 204 brake horsepower, 264 miles of range, 328 quid a month with 1233 up front. There is the Born, if you're unfamiliar with it. Obviously a very close sibling of the VW ID3, but it just looks a bit sportier, a bit more aggressive, and maybe a bit more butch, if I can still say that in 2024. £404.50 has been the average on this. At its highest point in the last 12 months, it's £484 a month. It's currently £328 a month with 1233 up front. These Subaru Solterras just seem to be hanging around. They're in-stock deals that I always think are going to disappear, and they seem to hang around a bit longer. For this kind of money, it's a really good car. For 800 quid a month, as they were, it's a rubbish car. For this kind of money, it's very good. An all-wheel drive EV for this kind of cash is, well, sort of mind-boggling, really. 257 miles of range, 441 litres of boot space, insurance group 39, 218 brake horsepower, 387 a month with 1400 up front. £609.21 has been the average over the last 12 months. At its lowest point, it was 7 quid a month less than it is now. But against the average of 609, it's looking pretty good right now. And at its peak, it was 898 quid a month. Next, we've got the VW ID5. It's the 150 kilowatt style Pro Performance 77 kilowatt hour. 414 a month and 1242 up front. 327 miles of range in this one, so it's very good in that respect. 204 brake horsepower, insurance group 31, and 549 litres of boot space. Over the last year, God, my internet's playing up today for a change. £518 a month has been the average. Currently 414. At its highest point, it was 636. So we're looking 100 quid less than the average, 200 quid less than its highest point. Not too bad. And as I said, it's fairly uncompromised. It's got good range. It's got good boot. It's practical. It's a nice thing to drive. Can't go wrong, really. I'd still rather have one of these, I think, than Nissan Aria Advance. This one's got 22 kilowatt charging on board. So if you've got a 22 kilowatt charger at home, or you've got the ability to have one, you can charge this a bit faster at home. I don't think there's a massive need for most people. You just stick it onto charge overnight and it does the job 9 times out of 10. 433 quid a month with 1,569 up front. It's in stock. 329 miles of range, 242 brake horsepower, insurance group 38 and 408 litres of boot space. And the average on that's been 617 quid a month. It's 433. The average has been 617. At its peak, 782. Its lowest point is right now, £433.09. It's in stock. Get on it. They will go soon. I know several people leased one on the back of the video I did a couple of weeks ago about this, and I don't know how many they've got to get rid of at this kind of price, but I can't see it's going to hang around forever. One of my favourite electric cars is the Hyundai Ioniq 6. This is the premium version, £437 a month with 1,560 up front, 339 miles of range, 228 horsepower, insurance group 36, and it's about 400 litres of boot space from memory, a bit over 400, something like that. Average on it's been 572 a month, at its peak 743. It was at one stage 349 quid a month, but it must have been a cancelled order or something. I can only think it was like one car, because as you can see, it's a real blip there. It's been 450, 460, 480, 490, 500, and then it just dropped to 349 and then straight back up. Currently 437 with 1,560 up front. Another brilliant car, the Kia EV6. This is the Air, 77 kilowatt hour automatic, 476 quid a month with 1,608 up front. In Kia cars, when you see Air, it means it's smaller battery pack, lower range kind of thing, sometimes lower power. 204 miles of range, insurance group 34, 490 litres of boot space, £577 a month's been the average. We're 100 quid a month less than that right now. And at its peak, it was 685 a month. So again, we're 200 quid less than that peak. 1,600 up front, 476 a month, and it's in stock. So this one could go reasonably quickly. VW ID Buzz deals are still around, 492 a month with 1,771 up front. And that's against an average of 700 quid a month. So it's still looking really good value. 864 has been their highest historical price. There's only £5 less than this at its absolute bottom. So this is a really good deal at the moment. 258 miles of range, 204 horsepower, insurance group 31, 1,121 litres of boot space. Not bad, folks. Really not bad. Genesis GV70 is here. I've spoken enough about these in the past, so I won't bore you again. This has got the innovation pack as well, which is a nice thing to have in Genesis. It's like the tech pack in anything else. But certainly a nice add-on to have. 503 litres of boot space, 283 miles of range, insurance group 50, 490 brake horsepower, 648 quid a month and 2,244 up front. And that's against an average of 942 quid a month, a peak of 1,200 a month. And this is almost the lowest price we've ever seen it. It was 17p cheaper, I think a couple of weeks ago. Currently 648 a month and 2,244 up front. If you haven't driven a Genesis, go and drive one. It's a wonderful experience. They're beautiful cars. The build quality is exceptional. You can't go far wrong. And then finally, as we had all those crazy petrol and diesel BMWs earlier in the video, we've got the BMW i5 eDrive 40 M Sport 84 kilowatt hour, 681 a month, 2,323 up front, 490 litres of boot space, insurance group 43, 354 miles of range. So really quite a decent piece of kit. 6 seconds to 62 in this one as well. Average price on it's been 904 a month. At its peak, 1,263. Currently 681. Folks, please use that link to Lease Loco and please support my sponsors, ALA. Don't forget that code JIM10 gets you 10% off there. Hope you've enjoyed this one. The last thing I'm going to ask you for in this video is that, again, for you to subscribe. I desperately want that 50,000 subscriber by the end of this year. It would really help if you did that for me now, and obviously it always helps if you leave a comment and give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget as well, you can book a call with me if you want. It's that way. Look, on the website notaguru.co.uk. I've spoken to quite a few of you now, and I really enjoyed doing it, and I think the people that have the calls with me get a lot from it. So that's an option for you. You do have to pay, unfortunately. Life's tough. But as a quick aside, I just want to say a massive thanks to everyone that's been supporting the channel. The start of this year has seen really good growth, and I'm hoping that growth can continue. I've been so busy at times, it's been unbelievable. But I'm trying to get more content out there for you, trying to get better content out there for you, particularly taking a lot more time and effort with the car reviews than I probably used to. So yeah, I hope you're enjoying it. Please continue to watch and please tell a friend. Catch you on the next one. See you soon.